Hello everyone. Welcome to this video on adding the Report Designer component in an Angular 10 application. Before getting into the video, let's talk a bit about the Report Designer in Bold Reports. The Report Designer is a web-based what you see is what you get reporting tool for creating and editing RDL and RDLC reports. It comes with a wide range of report items to transform data into meaningful information and quickly build business reports. Before getting into the process, make sure your development environment includes Node.js version 8 or higher, and NPM version 3 or higher. First, let's install the Angular CLI. The Angular CLI is a command line scaffolding tool used to initialize, develop, and maintain Angular applications directly from a command shell. Run this command to install the Angular CLI globally in the command prompt. Now let's create a new application. To create a new Angular application, run this command in the command prompt. In the command prompt, add Angular routing to your application by typing Y in the prompt window. Then press Enter. You can choose any style sheet for application development. For this tutorial, choose the CSS style sheet format using the arrow keys and then press Enter. Now, the Angular CLI automatically installs the required Angular NPM packages and other dependencies. I have included a link to the FAQ on loading SAS in the video description. Now, let's configure the Bold Report Designer in the Angular CLI. First, change the directory to your application's root folder by entering this command. Install the Bold Reports Angular library in the Angular application using the npm install command. The library should be installed as a dev dependency. To enable type checking in the Bold Reports components, install Bold Reports typings by executing this command. Open the application in Visual Studio Code. Note that I am using Visual Studio Code for editing purposes in this demo, but you can use any editor to get started. To configure the typings for the entire application, open the tsconfig.app.json file. And register the @types and @boldreport/types under the type roots array. And add the typings jQuery and reports.all. Our Angular reporting component requires a window.jQuery object to render properly. Now, open the polyfills.ts file from the src folder. And import jQuery. Now, let's add the theme reference. Open the angular.json file. And add the Report Designer component style sheets bold.reports.all.min.css and bold.reportdesigner.min.css within the Angular Report Designer styles section. Angular 10 will throw a common JS or AMD dependencies can cause optimization bailouts warning, due to adding the scripts in the app.module.ts file, because they use the AMD module loader. To remove the warning, add the Report Designer, Report Viewer, Bullet Graph, and Chart scripts within the Angular Report Designer, allow common JS dependency section. As I already mentioned, in Bold Reports, the report processing will be handled using a server-side web API, and rendering in the browser will be handled by a client-side page. Let's add the code mirror reference in the Angular 10 application. Report Designer requires the code mirror scripts and styles to allow editing SQL queries and Visual Basic Code functions with syntax highlighting. For the code mirror scripts and style, install code mirror by executing this command. In the angular.json file, add the code mirror.css and show hint.css files under the style section. Add the code mirror.js, show hint.js, SQL hint.js, and vb.js script files under the script section. Let's add the Report Designer component on the client side. Open the app.module.ts file. Import the @boldreport/Angular reporting component library. @boldreport/Angular reporting component provides the UI component for the Angular Report Designer control. Import the necessary script files to render the Report Designer control. The bold.reportviewer.min file is imported for rendering the report viewer control. The report viewer is the subcomponent for the report designer which is used to preview the designed report. The bold.reportdesigner.min file is imported for rendering the report designer control. The ej.bulletgraph.min and ej.chart.min files are imported for rendering the bullet graph and chart report items in the report designer control. Add the bold report designer module in the imports array. Then open the index.html file. And reference the following scripts in the head tag. I have mentioned the purpose of each script in the following table. ej2base.min.js, ej2data.min.js, ej2pdfexport.min.js, and ej2svgbase.min.js are used to render the gauge item. ej2lineargauge.min.js renders the linear gauge report item. ej2circulargauge.min.js renders the circular gauge report item. ej2maps.min.js is used to render the map report item. Open the app.component.html file. And initialize the report designer control. Now open the app.component.ts file. And declare the service URL variable. And constructor in the app component class. Now let's set the web API service. This is where the report designer is processed and rendered in the browser using the web API service. You can find out how to create the standalone web API service in either the ASP.NET Core or ASP.NET platform in another video. I have included the video links in the description. The web API service is hosted as an Azure web app. The service URL property specifies the report web API service URL. To render the report designer, in the app.component.ts file, set the service URL property of the report designer in the constructor. In this demo, I used our Bold Reports demo web API service link to render the designer. You can use your own web API service. Now open the app.component.html file. And bind the service URL property of the report designer. Now, let's serve the application. Open the command prompt and run this command. It will launch the application in the default browser at this URL. You can see the report designer is loaded in the browser. And you can start creating stunning professional reports here. By clicking the Save icon and the Save option, the report definition file will be automatically downloaded. In this video, we learned how to add the report designer component in an Angular 10 application using Bold Reports. Stay tuned to this channel for our upcoming videos on Bold Reports. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.